Well, welcome to the North Pine Creative Podcast, where we come together to discuss digital marketing and current trends in digital marketing. Today, our topic is social media marketing. We've got Luke, we got Weston here from North Pine Creative to discuss some questions and some how-to regarding these things, as well as to discuss some current trends. So I am the CMO at North Pine Creative. Luke, Weston, if you guys could quick introduce yourselves.
Yeah, my name's Luke. I'm the CEO here at North Pine Creative.
My name's Weston. I am the COO at North Pine Creative.
How much money should I put into social media marketing? Weston, you want to take a crack at that question?
So it really depends on where you currently are at. The first thing I want to say is you could spend as much money as you want with a bad post or a bad ad and get nothing back. So I think your first and initial thought should be, I need to invest in my content, whether that is you need a better camera. You should be able to just do it with whatever your smartphone is. Most modern smartphones have a good enough camera or video especially for social media, because that's what everyone's expecting to see, is like something that was made with a phone. I would say that a lot of the time people will go with almost 50% of your marketing budget being digital, and maybe somewhere in like the 20 to 30% is paid promotional. That being said, if you're a very small business, honestly, $1 or $2 a day would help get some movement going, and you'll get daily likes, you'll get new followers daily, and that will build over time. It is something that you need to look at as an investment. It's not necessarily going to pay off immediately, especially if you're a startup. If you already have a social media following and you are trying to convert your followers into your social media followers into like physical product consumers, you don't even necessarily need to pay for that. You just need to get those likes and you need to get that movement. So I think it's important to set goals and take a look at, what do I want out of this? Do I want sales or do I want likes? And if you want likes, throwing some money at it is not bad, because you're going to be getting exposure and you're a lot more likely to convert someone who's already following you with a regular post than you are with someone who's never heard of your post or never heard of your business and is seeing it for the first time.
So this is something people need to budget for on the monthly going forward. How much money do I want to spend on social media marketing is what you're saying.
Right. Honestly, it's important to just start. In my opinion, whatever you can afford and whatever you think is effective. Like I said, I've done like $1 or $2 a day campaigns over the course of like a couple weeks, and you don't see a ton of movement, but it's only $1 or $2 a day. You
said $1 or
$2 a day, and that'll just start what you're doing. That being said, if you already have a good following and you've got the money to put behind it, as long as you are doing the content like appropriately, something that someone is going to click on when they see it, I mean, the sky is the limit. There are companies out there. I mean, depending on how what your product is, you could be reaching almost everyone on Facebook if you have the capital to do so, and as long as you're converting them, you're doing good. So let's say just test it. Try, $100 or even a couple dollars a day, and just see what's working and work off of that. You're not gonna become a millionaire overnight with $100 Facebook ad. It takes time, it takes effort. You gotta perfect it. That being said, if you've never done it, don't spend $4,000 on one post, right? But figure
what?
out.
You don't want me to go out and just blow all of my savings on advertisements?
If you're going to be posting regularly, spread your schedule out over those periods of time. That way you're getting constant traffic. Other than that, do what you can afford, and as you get better at it, technically you should be able to afford more if you're getting better at it, because you're getting more conversions.
Yep.
and you're getting more attention to your business as well. So honestly,
Yeah.
just
Something we've
start.
talked about.
It doesn't have to be that hard. Just start with something.
Yeah, something that we've talked about already tonight is views. Views are not converts, and that's a word that Luke's said a few times tonight. That what we mean by that is someone who's actually followed through by buying your product.
Yeah.
So viewing, it's nice. We want to have views, but it's not them buying the product. That's not bringing revenue to your company. So do not make a mistake. Those who are listening, views ultimately didn't do anything for your company. You got brand, people know your brand, but they didn't buy anything from you. They didn't choose to go with you as clients or as companies, as buyers. So be wary and make sure you know what they're promising you. They're not promising you sales. They're promising you potential customers. You still have to sell the product. So something you've mentioned already tonight, Luke, is analytics. How important is analytics when it comes to paying for ads and whatnot? How do I analyze the analytics, and where do I get it, and what is it going to tell me, and how important is it?
Yeah, so starting off with, it depends on where you're marketing on the platform, right? So for my example, I'm just going to use Facebook. So if you're putting money into Facebook advertisements, you go into the back end. They have a Facebook manager, and it specifically manages your posts that you're doing and ads that you're doing, and it's called an ad manager. And in the back of the ad manager, you can select a bunch of different qualifications, and that's really where you want to be, so you can do more targeted posts to specific people instead of just boosting. So as Weston mentioned, you don't want to just throw your money away. Boosting is kind of like throwing your money away, and it's just showing a bunch of people, but that's it. So you'll see on the analytics, I saw like 1,000 people saw it, but only none of those converted. So it kind of goes back to just looking at what you're doing, and let's say so let's go step by step. So you create it, you have this idea for an ad, you want to run it. You go to your Facebook ad manager, you create the ad, you put your budget to the ad. Now that you've put your budget to the ad, you can go down the process and have that ad start. So then once that's running, it'll show you and give you analytics based on how is that doing. Now the hard part is trying to track and make sure that those are actually turning into leads. So you got to know what your end goal is. So if I'm creating an advertisement and I want them to go to this form and fill out this contact request, all right? So I do this ad, and it says, learn more or get started today or click here with your call to action, and I have about 100 people who click that, right? And 10 of those people click that. I know that and my math is going to be really bad on this, but correct me if I'm wrong, Ben, that'd be what? That'd be a conversion rate of 10%, right?
Say the numbers one more time.
If I had 100, and this is stupid, this is simple math. Can you tell that I'm a creative? So you have 100 people, and they all click on the ad, and 10 of those people fill out the form.
Yeah, it's 10%.
And click submit. That would be 10%. Now, that's really high. So the average that you really are going to see is anywhere from 1 to 3%. If you're in that range and you're, you're doing advertisements and you're getting 1 to 3% of the people who are viewing it are converting, that's a good conversion rate. That's not bad. If you're getting 10, that is incredible, right? So now that you had them fill out that form, you can say, okay, I know that I can follow up with these people because they want more information. Right? If you're a product, you track it based on sales. Right? So if you're seeing that, these people are going to the website, and now I'm seeing an increase in the sales that I'm getting from my website because after I started doing these posts, right? Then you can figure out your conversion rate and how many people are actually doing it. So there's kind of some math that's involved with it. It's pretty simple math. As you can see, I can do simple math. I just second guess it, so I do it twice. But yeah, that's kind of how you can tell and read those analytics. And that's why it gets complicated, is because that comes with time. And as Weston mentioned, you're not going to know all of it right away, and you're not going to be able to just, know how to do everything. It takes time. And there's a lot of different resources that are out there to help you. And hopefully, this podcast that in this episode is helping you kind of open your ideas to how are you going to create that marketing strategy, and is this really going to be worth it for my business? In the long run, yes, it just takes time. And a lot of it is A/B testing, right? Just like when you put a new burger on your menu, right? It's A/B testing. Are people going to like this? There's some data and some information, and people have been kind of asking for something like this, but I don't know if it's really going to work until it's out there. There's data that can point you in the right direction and kind of say what they will like and what they can do, but if it's not working, try something else. And it takes time. A lot of people will be like, well, I boosted this post and these people aren't coming, or I did this and people aren't, attending this event or doing this thing. And it's like, okay, well, you got to analyze and try something else, because clearly that's not working. And that's a lot of what, advertisement marketing is and social media marketing is what's working and what's not.
Yeah, Luke,
right?
you just mentioned a term called A/B testing. For those who don't know, what is A/B testing?
Yeah, so A/B testing is basically where you have two different things, two different advertisements or two different products or whatever, and you're kind of putting them up against each other, and they're the same thing, but you change something slightly. So for example, if it's an advertisement, okay, well, we have a call to action that says, act now, and then on the other advertisement we have one that says connect with us today, and you put both of those out there, and then you track which one is doing better than the other, and you give them the same parameters. It's basically kind of like the scientific method almost, but in a more marketing sense. That's how I kind of look at it, is when I create my hypothesis, I think this is going to work. I have a control group and I have my other group, and I'm testing both of those back and forth together. So that's what A/B testing is. A very long way to say what it is. It's basically comparing two things and which one's doing better. And if I have one that's doing better, I'm going to boost that one, right? So Wes, we kind of talked about where do you put your money, right? Do that. Try that. Do 2 advertisements. Put $1 or $2 a day on each one. Which one of those types of advertisements is getting you more, is getting the conversions that you want? Stop putting money into the other one and transfer that money over to the one that's working, right? Because then you're going to see, okay, then you can possibly double what you're going to be making or what you're trying to accomplish. So then it also kind of boils down to what you want to accomplish too. Do you want leads? Do you want more sales on your website and those sorts of things? And that's a whole other topic. But, yeah.
All right, Weston, did you have anything you wanted to share?
I think Luke hit most of those points. I just kind of want to second that A/B testing is phenomenal tool, because you can figure out what's working better. Well, I'm going to start this. What's different about this, and what's my next step to make something even more effective? And it kind of goes along with just starting. Just try it. Just do something. Even if you're not putting a lot of money on the line, you're at least getting better results with the money that you are putting on the line.
Gary Vee talks about that all the time. I don't know if anyone follows him, and I know that he has a lot of people who are critical of him, but the guy has had success, and it's through hard work and through doing. And he talks about that a lot, of just doing. Just put out content. It doesn't have to be the best thing in the world, the highest produced thing. Is it great to have really high produced content? Absolutely, but work with what you have, right? And set your strategy and set your budget, right? And put the pieces together in that. So if you're a small business owner that's listening to this, just start trying things, right? Just start trying. And then eventually, as you go and as you learn more, put more money into that budget, right? But don't think that if you don't put any effort in and you do like a couple things that you're going to see the giant return that you want. You are definitely going to get out of it what you put in, but just starting to do stuff. Because, yeah, Weston, you're right. Like, our phones are incredible. Like, the cameras and what you can do now on a phone is nuts. Is it like, the best cinematic quality in the world? No. But, like, in tech-related stuff, if you've looked at anything that the Galaxy S20, I believe it is, holy buckets. Like, the cameras on those phones are, like, just as comparable to my camera. Now, with that being said, it's just as expensive.
Yeah.
right? And over time, you're going to not be using that phone anymore. And I mean, I guess the same thing could be said for camera equipment, but like, you know, that's incredible to me that someone who is 15 or younger can be creating super cool cinematic things that maybe not have the best stuff, or they might be learners, you know, and grow with it and create that. And that's off topic. Sorry about that, but it's just, you know, just try, just do. Just
well, we've covered
do.
a lot of great content tonight, and we want to close through by mentioning a few current trends or some news in digital marketing. And I believe Instagram made an interesting change in the past couple of weeks. Luke, do you want to address that change Instagram made and how businesses need to incorporate that into their marketing?
Yeah, so it's slight changes, and they just made another one too. Now, I don't know. I didn't look to see if they rolled this out to everyone, because sometimes what they'll do with updates is they roll it out to select groups of people. So you might not see this right away. Huh?
You mean they're doing A/B testing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're definitely doing that. And they're going to roll it out to the people who are more active on their platform too. So then they can know how to refine it. So if you really want to get updates and things quicker, be active on the platform. I'm on Facebook so much, you know, for work and stuff, not just looking at fun cat videos and memes on the internet, okay? But, you know, so I'm on it a lot. So I ended up getting to see their new layout and how they did their update, fresh look. Before some other people did that I knew, because I was very active on the platform. So they do a lot of slow rollout stuff. So what Instagram is doing now is two things. One, their story icons at the very top of the page are bigger. They made them like twice the size. They're ginormous now. It kind of pisses me off. But I'm sure they're getting a lot of data that most people, they go to Instagram and they instantly click those stories. You know, I know I do. So they're seeing data, I'm sure, that's proving that. And I'm kind of talking out of my butt as to why they decided to make that decision. But that's something. So be using Instagram stories more now, because it's a thing and it's important. And you can cross-post to your Facebook, which is awesome. And the other thing that they did is when you scroll through your Instagram, when you get to the bottom and you've seen all of the new posts that people have done, it does this like little, you're all caught up. View older posts in a small thing, and then if you keep scrolling and you don't click that, it shows you suggestive posts. Like suggested posts, not suggestive, suggested post based on content that you interact for. So there's two major things that I think is going to come into play with this. Is one, you're going to run into issues if you're not making content that people are interested in. They're going to scroll past it and you only have a couple seconds to grab them, right? And then two, if you are making something that's really interesting and you're starting to grow and you're seeing that, there's a possibility that Instagram is going to take your posts that you've been making and push those out to people. Like, that's crazy. They're going to start taking stuff and basically do promotion on those posts. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually they start like doing some paid thing for that. Like they've already been doing for boosted posts on Instagram. Like I remember when they came out with those and I scrolled past something, it was like, oh, that's really interesting. And I didn't realize it was an ad. That's creepy. You know, it's like they're making so many things that are, and it's creepy, but it's smart, you know, like making something feel as just it's there, because people won't always want to interact with it. And that's another fun tip. If you're using Instagram stories, you don't always want to do super highly produced videos on Instagram stories, because part of the charm of those and Facebook stories is the authenticity of recording it on your phone and not having it be crazy edited. Do I love crazy edited things? Absolutely. Is it important if you're like a really big brand? Absolutely, to do that stuff. But if you're going to boost that Instagram story and it's highly edited, someone's going to scroll past it. Guarantee it.
Something else that's changed recently in social media is not only are stories being pushed more on Instagram, but they're more of a thing on YouTube than they've ever been. YouTube is not tone deaf to what's going on. They're trying to act like a social media platform more and more. It's not just videos like it used to be. If you're on YouTube on your phone, there's stories there. Right after the first or second video, there's stories, and it quickly transitions the same way Facebook and Instagram does. So for those of who don't know the difference between posts and stories, who might not be very active, the posts is what you're used to seeing, a bunch of words, maybe a video, maybe a graphic. But story is just pure video. There's usually now no text that goes with it. Usually they're under, I think you said a minute or 30 seconds, Luke. They're really short.
60 seconds or less.
60 seconds or less, so they're not
Typically.
long. If you want to go something bigger than that, like you're at an actual video you'll post to your YouTube channel, that's your Instagram TV, where Instagram TV is now acting kind of like YouTube, where you have long video content that you can find. But one thing to wrap this up that Weston has said is to use your content more than once. If you make a video that's 30 seconds long, it should be on your Facebook. You can link it to your Instagram so it's automatically there as well. And that will also go on your YouTube story if it's applicable to that audience. If you make a good post, you should be able to edit it and put it on multiple platforms. So the question of what platform do I use becomes, how can I make this content easily posted to multiple platforms? So it's really more a matter of how well you can manage the content you create. So with that, we have to draw this podcast to a close. We want to thank our listeners. We want to ask that you check us out at northpinecreative.com. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast. We'd love to share more of our content with you. And as always, you can fill out our form on our website for a free consultation with any one of us to help you strategize how you can improve your digital marketing with your company. Have a great day.